Association on this blissful morning. So, we shall start by offering our respectful obeisances to the presiding deities of our temple, ISKCON Sheshadripuram, Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 entitled Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation. So we are going to finish one time at least this wonderful conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Okay, so Krishna has finished speaking the science of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and now Krishna is asking Arjuna or telling Arjuna that I have given you these directions. Okay, so what will happen if you act according to my direction, and two, if you do not act according to my direction? So let us look at that in detail in this shloka number 59. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. So, Krishna is giving Arjuna a more elaborate explanation of what happens if he will not fight. Okay, so in the previous slokas, what did Krishna say? If someone follows my instructions, I will help that person to cross all obstacles. And here he's telling Arjuna, if you do not act according to my instruction, then you will be falsely directed. Okay, but by your own nature, you will have to be engaged eventually in warfare. Because what is Arjuna's nature? Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Okay, so Krishna is essentially saying this: Arjuna, let me tell you, you will fight because your nature is to fight. Okay, so Arjuna knows that as a Kshatriya, he is going away from his duty. Okay, and he knows that he should fight. But in this situation, Arjuna is thinking that sin will overcome me if I fight. Okay, so I will not fight. I cannot kill my teacher Drona. I cannot kill my grandfather Bhishma. So I will not fight. Okay, so Krishna is saying, okay, you're thinking now you will not fight, but in the future you will have to. And at that time, that will be a humorous situation. because I will be laughing at you because of that, because you did not follow my instruction in the first place. That's what Krishna is saying essentially. By your own nature, you will need to fight anyway. So why not follow my instructions now and do it? So Prabhupada is saying here in the purport, let us read. Arjuna was a military man and born of the nature of the Kshatriya. Therefore, his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, and friends, he would incur sinful reaction. Actually, what is happening here is that Arjuna is considering himself the master of his actions, as if he were directing the good and bad results of such work. Arjuna forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. When the Supreme Lord is giving us an instruction, we do not have to think. Sometimes it's easier, okay? It's easier to just follow rather than crack our heads, break our heads, and think, what should I do? What should I not do? It leads to a lot of indecision, and we don't know whether we could be making the right or wrong decision. Okay, so this is what happens to everyone. We think that, oh, I am the doer, I am the elder person here, I am the doer, it is me who is doing it, I am making all these decisions. And then what happens? We face all the repercussions when we make the wrong decisions. Okay, so bhakti yoga is very important. The best thing, okay, according to Bhakti Yoga, the best thing is to follow the instructions of the Lord for His own pleasure. Whatever we do, we think, will the Lord be happy with this? We should always meditate on this point. Whatever that we do, will the Lord be happy with me if I do this? Am I doing this to follow the instructions of the Lord ultimately and to act according to the will of the Lord? Or am I doing this according to my own desire, or to fulfill my own sense gratification, or to maintain my own respect? Okay, it is important that we do everything according to the instructions of the Lord. And when we do that, then everything else will be well taken care of. How do we know that what we are doing according to the will of the Lord is right? You see, we should always contemplate. We all know that we are living, the ultimate goal of our life is to serve the Lord. Now that we've all gone through 18 chapters almost, this we understand that we are here as servants of the Lord. So, this self introspection, like what I said, to always think, am I doing something for the pleasure of the Lord or for my own pleasure? This introspection is very, very important. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada further writes, that is the forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality gives directions as to what is good and what is bad, and one simply has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. One simply has to act in Krishna consciousness. Okay, it is very whimsical when we think, okay, according to me, I should do this. So let me do it. I feel this is wrong, so I will not do it. I feel this is right, so I will not do it. That is very whimsical. Okay, but one thing we have to understand is that Krishna is the personality who knows our past, our present, and also our future. What we tend to do is we know our past, we also know our present to some extent, but do we know the future? We simply speculate as to what the future holds and we try to make decisions according to that. But Krishna knows our past, present, and future. So if Arjuna acts according to Krishna's directions, then he will be safe. Krishna is advising him based on all these aspects. Not only does Krishna understand our past, present, and future, as we saw at the end of the fifth chapter, we read the peace formula. Chapter 5, text 29 is the universal peace formula. Krishna has said that he is the ultimate friend and well wisher of all living beings. Okay, so if we have full faith that Krishna is our ultimate friend and well wisher, we will be doing ourselves the best if we simply follow his instructions, and we will be able to feel the results of this when we simply follow his instructions. We should be very clear about this. We should eventually, now, we've heard all these 18 chapters, we should try to be more surrendered to the Lord. We surrender to the will of the Lord. Whatever happens, we should have faith that whatever has happened to us is the best plan of the Lord. Sometimes many reversals happen that we cannot come to terms with, and I know it's very difficult, but somehow internally, this year, it's a new year, we have to start, training our mind to think that whatever happens, that's the best plan. Whatever the Lord has given me, that is the best plan for me. Okay, Prabhupada finally writes, no one can ascertain his destiny as the Supreme Lord can. Whose destiny? Arjuna's destiny, our destiny. No one can ascertain our destiny as much as the Supreme Lord can. Therefore, the best course of action is to take direction from the Supreme Lord. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master, who is the representative of God. One should act unhesitatingly to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that will keep one safe under all circumstances. So, dear devotees, Prabhus and Matajis, the best thing we can do is just live our life in accordance to the plan given by Krishna. No tension of thinking, planning, and cracking our head over what is wrong and right. And when we do this, I've personally experienced this as well. Krishna will shower his blessings upon us, he will shower his mercy, and everything we will also learn to accept it. We will be given the state of mind to accept everything according to the Lord's plan. So we thank you all for being with us today, this wonderful Sunday morning. So for those of you who are in Bangalore, today we are having the wonderful flower Abhishek of Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra, and you will also have the benefit of seeing them in dresses made out of flowers today. So all of you who are in town, who are in Bangalore, please visit our temple ISKCON Sheshadripuram to witness these wonderful darshan today. I just want to close with one thing. I think many of us will be wondering, okay, these are Krishna's instructions for Arjuna. And here Vrnda is saying that we have to follow the instructions of the Lord and the spiritual master. How do I know what the instructions for me are? It is not clear to me. So how can I execute these instructions? So it's very simple. Okay, what are these instructions? According to Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra, we know that these instructions are as follows. Okay, 1. Chant a minimum of 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra a day. And if we are not there yet, we can slowly try to get there. Okay, we can slowly try to get there to achieving a minimum of 16 rounds a day. We follow the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. We read the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the other scriptures that are given to us. We hear from realized souls, and we try to do some practical devotional service at home, cleaning the Lord's altar, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the home as well, which is the Lord's home, okay, cooking for the Lord, offering something. These are all practical devotional services. So if we can just follow these instructions, okay, or try to follow these instructions, get to the level where we can follow these instructions and do them as sincerely as possible, then we know that we are trying to follow the instructions of the Lord and Srila Prabhupada. So thank you all very, very much. Hare Krishna. Anand Rupa Prabhu, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank